Most welcome to tonight's training of sharing of Wondrous Lotus Sutra. First of all,感恩 Master for setting up Tzu Chi and teaching us Lotus Sutra, and also 感恩 for giving Irene this learning opportunity. Yeah, tonight's sharing will be on Wondrous Lotus Sutra, Chapter 3 on parable. And I'm Irene, the facilitator for tonight. Okay. Okay. This is my path to learning Dharma, and it's first time I'm learning to train how to be a facilitator. My learning journey on Dharma path actually started in 2016 when English group went back to Hualien. Over there, I'm very inspired, and I get the chance to attend the first Shin Fa Xiang of Master, because at Malaysia, I do not have the opportunity to go out in the morning. So I seize the time to attend at Taoyuan and also at Hualien. And from there on, I actually continue until now. And I'm also very grateful to Brother Joe for an encounter affinity in Hualien. Once I remember Master said while I'm listening to the Dharma, if you can listen and contemplate one word of the Dharma, you can benefit and share to others. I carry Master's word with much hope to learn Dharma, despite being handicapped in Chinese and Thai. And luckily, along the way, we have this English group with Sister Suchin and a few seniors, brother and sisters who help to type out the English caption. That makes our learning Dharma a lot easier. But along the way of the learning, my hope, actually turned to fear and self-doubt and self-blame because of my actually incapability to catch up with a lot of the Dharma terms, and couldn't remember well all the Dharma terms. But recently, I feel the light of hope shines again. It is on 2 Sunday ago, our brother Joe Huang, Shi Hao Shi Xiong, sharing on 3rd January, I hear one of brother's sentence. What you can listen, the word expounded, is what you need to know. I was like, wow, I was like so relieved. That I can start to calm myself and not so worried that I couldn't remember so many things, and I start having some self-blame. So here I hear that what you need most, one might catch those words, and that is enough and useful for this particular moment of one's life. Each sentient beings have own and different capability. It all depends on what root we have built from past life. So I tell myself, no pressure, please. Continue with faith and sincere in learning. Do not pressure, but persevere. Let the Dharma slowly permits in us. Yeah. So now the Dharma flow, I feel that I no longer fear the Dharma term so much, and I do not hesitate where to start. For every part of the river is Dharma water. I can scope and savor it at any point of time. So I tell myself I may not remember or understand every Dharma term, but I cherish and put to action the term that I understand. Be natural and patient in learning Dharma, and you will get that. So this is a little sharing about my learning journey. And tonight we have 3 sharers. The first sharer that I'm going to invite is our Sister Tzu Chi. Her slide is out. I'm very grateful to Sister Tzu Chi because she is the first seed who started this English learning platform Dharma with Brother Joe, without which we won't have the opportunity. So I'm very grateful to Sister Tzu Chi, and I always tell her that I really believe she has a pact made now with Brother Joe in front of Buddha, and I feel it's like our master 2,500 years ago. That's what she told me when we first met. You were there 2,500 years ago, and I look at her, but now I believe her. Now let's invite our Sister Tzu Chi to share. Over to you, Kan'en, Sister Tzu Chi.
Apology, forgotten to turn on. Kan'en Sister Irene for this opportunity to learn. Kan'en brothers and sisters for supporting, great support. Of course, our Dharma, our Hualien Dharma teachers, Master De Huang and Brother Joe. Very good evening to everyone. The episodes that sharing today, one of it is 644, Transform All with Meditative Mind of Samadhi, which Master shared on 6th of January. Master started by saying, with the concentrations of Samadhi and careful cultivations of contemplation, we can reach the clear and tranquil state that comes from the nature of true suchness. Master said, Samadhi is the right concentration, right thinking, right mindfulness, and power of mindset. So Samadhi lies in the single-minded concentration. As Brother Chin said, focus. That's the meditative state. In past, I always thought that to attain that state, one have to go to the forest or secluded quiet place to practice such. But I'm very grateful that to meet Master Chen Yan, who said even carrying firewoods and water is also meditation. Everything that we are doing, so long we focus on that task that we are doing, that is already meditation. So our every words and actions can be meditation. That's powerful, even though we are in this constantly troubled world. But if we can apply the concentration of Samadhi to contemplate earnestly and carefully, we too can reach this state of pure, clear, and tranquil state that brings us closer to our innate pure nature. Moving on forward, actually on 18 January 2021 WAD, Master on adjusting the mind to escape the burning house. Master also said a mind in Samadhi is unwavering, trained to be genuine, wise, and focused. So let's imagine this cup of water with impurities. If we leave it on a stable platform and move, the impurities will settle at the bottom. But has it really gone away? I recall Sister Sylvie sharing in Dao. She mentioned about attending a meditation camp for a few days, and she was feeling so proud that she could attain the peaceful state. She thought she has reached certain very high level. So with that very confident state, she reached home. But once she reached home, she said, crack already. I mean, the pot already in Chinese word means she couldn't attain such then started to have a disagreement with the family members. So it's like the cup with impurities. Maybe at the camp, the meditation camp, she could attain such level, tranquil, clear state. But once reach home, when we are with trouble, like the cup on the shaky table, the cup will be tainted again. So it seems smooth and dandy, but when challenges come, can we still attain the stillness? Master guide us to inspire heart of compassion, walking into masses because while in masses we can engage in spiritual practice, like this impure water entering the great ocean, the vast ocean, the accommodating ocean. It can take away all this. It can bring in all the impurities. There's no trace of impurities because the heart is as broad as the universe. Just like us, we learning guided by master, all of us started to drink more and more for spiritual soup, the accommodating great 自主感恩三界包容 accommodating understanding heart. So in master also teach us the very powerful these three no's. There is no one I cannot love, no one I cannot believe, and no one I cannot trust. With that, that's for us. If we can have that, could we not sleep well at night? Definitely, because we can sleep very well. The conscience is clear. There's no one we cannot forgive, cannot. There's no one that we cannot love and believe. The spiritual soap again, the contentment, gratitude, understanding, accommodating. Dating, which master again mentioned on 7 January 2020. So even though we are in constantly troubled world, if we can apply the concentration of samadhi to contemplate earnestly and carefully, we can reach that pure and clear and tranquil state that brings us nearer to our nature of pure suchness. So such a heart of compassion, purity, clarity, and tranquil state of samadhi. Okay, next, master said at that time, the master of the house, this is from the sutra verse, at that time the master of the house stood outside the door. He heard someone say, all your children, because they wanted to play, has entered this house. So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, for the sake of one great cause, they keep returning to the Sahavar to save sentient beings. As we often heard, Buddha has attained enlightenment 2,500 years ago, yet Buddha still and all the bodhisattvas still returning to the Sahara world to save the sentient beings. So this master of the house, because of the loving kindness, they cannot bear to see us in this Sahara world. They have to keep coming back. That's the analogy for the master as the one who can see, and he stood outside the door. Actually, in fact, the Buddha, the master, this elderly, he has left the burning house. He had attained peace and safety, but yet he could not leave the suffering sentient being behind. Recently, during the tour, we also heard Master assuring us that Master will always coming back. So for us to stay steadfast on this path while waiting for Master. Indeed, I also think that it is not for us to worry about Master, because we know that our Master's heart, Master is so pure and accommodating. It's as vast as the universe. Her Master's faith is so deep. There is no doubt at all Master could return back. It is for me to reflect on the self, whether can I persevere on this path. This power of compassion and the vow have to embrace it and to as we enter the realms of suffering beings. So next, sharing this. Recently we learned this Gainia. So before the MCO started, we managed to visit this. Actually, we're not really advised to go out, but could not bear, because while calling this elderly Amma, she's a dialysis patient, could feel that she was not feeling very. Yes, this one is shortly. Okay, because while calling her, could felt that she was depressed, was not happy because of this lockdown, and the body conditions was not well. So she also said she longing for this bowl of tang yuan, glutinous rice ball. So we were thinking to bring it over to her. At the same time, could felt when we reached her house, not sure why that day she was not in a good mood. So, but then on impromptu on the spot, we thought, why not present her this Soyu, and she actually the new volunteer that joined us, a doctor, he took this recording. He said the Amma, the elderly dialysis patient, the tears actually well in her eyes, and later before we depart that day, she asked us to perform again the second time. It's like sending that day. Actually, we didn't. It's more like a mission of bringing warmth to her in the bitter winter. Hopefully, yeah. In fact, when we initially reached the house, she was not. We could see was not really in a happy mood. But before we left, she was really already very chatty and talking away with us. We hope that we could leave behind a fond memory, and pray that the MCO could. And sooner we could visit her again. Okay, because of I have to skip that one. Okay, next, moving to this episode 645, 7 January, on rescuing the children in the burning house. Master said the nature of the true suchness is supreme, ultimate emptiness. Wisdom is knowing that the appearances of all phenomena are empty. As we know, the phenomena is empty. The virtue fruits of Buddhahood is compassion for sentient beings. Again, compassion is very important. Yeah. Master guides us to enter into the masses as the living bodhisattva, unafraid of hardship. Even today, Master also mentioned about the rope of gentleness and compassion. The mind not contaminated by surrounding. Buddha taught the world transcending roots of goodness. 常养慈悲心 have to keep nurturing these roots of goodness to prevent fire of afflictions from burning and harming them. Heard from a Taiwan brother, he mentioned about a story of someone asking the Dharma master which sutra is most effective to chant. Is it the Di Zhang Jing or Da Bei Zhou or all the sutra? He asked this Dharma master. The wise Dharma master replied, the one that is chanted by a person with compassion and loving kindness, that one is the most effective. Just that one light at heart, if it could dispel the darkness in a room. Once a person's character is transformed, Buddha nature will manifest. A drunkard asked Buddha if he could be doomed because of the precepts that he could not uphold. And Buddha asked him, if 500 carts filled with woods, if it is a lot. The man said, definitely a lot of wood, right? What about light? A light, just that single one light, it can burn off all those 500 carts filled with woods. All those things will go away. Similarly, if this man, what Buddha is trying to say, if he could have realization, such wisdom could eliminate the afflictions at his heart. Okay, actually this one is about, maybe I'll play a short while. It's the activities we sending love to the, maybe before playing can share a bit. This during the MCO, these are more recent activity during MCO. In between sending all this love, there are a lot of very touching stories like this young man. He was very touched when he didn't expect us to send the goods, the money to him. He said he appreciated the gesture. This lady, not sure whether she was very touched because Tzu Chi helped her during actually all these very conducted during very short period within 3 months. But despite that, after the first visit, the volunteer discovered that she could sew shirts, and they bought her sewing machines. And immediately the next visit, she told us that she had started sewing clothes and she could earn some incomes. In fact, she also started to do donations, bamboo coin box. And we, the next visit, we asked her if she could, help us to, in eating healthily and which is vegetarian. Then she's receptive to that. And then, of course, we could see that she's very grateful to Tzu Chi because of the help during that difficult time. She could earn some living. So it's always like about sending hopes to all these refugees during the tough time. This one is during our 1:30 prayer happens that the refugees were with us. So we asked if they wish to join us for the 1:30 prayer. They say yes. That's why just now that one we even have prayers with our refugee family. It was very touching because they also sent some messages live during the prayers. This was during the few days mission actually. Because during MCO it was more intensified. We have more cases compared to our normal mobilization. Normally we only take 3 or 4 cases because we will spend almost like sometimes more than 1 hour for each home visit because we wish to understand them better. But during MCO there are certain protocol which we have to adhere to. So it could be a faster one, but based on our experience, normally we can't take more than 7 or 6 because it will end up the whole day. But that day, actually beyond us. In the morning, last minute, early in the morning, we received a call from the Tzu Chi school if we could go over, drop by to collect the vegetables, because the government announced a lockdown, so they have a lot of leftovers. Actually, the school is far off from our journey, but we decided to go anyway. So we were thinking, oh dear, today we are not sure what time we could complete the missions, but we disregard that, because we understand that to the refugee, each food will mean a lot. So we did that, and at the end of the session, also received a text message from another sister if we could help out to send aid to another family. Normally, under normal circumstances, it's truly mission impossible, because our planning will have already gone haywire in the morning. We really need to detour to a place. But somehow, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are such, if you have the vow to help people, that day, we are also not sure why suddenly, despite the whole plan went off already, but we could complete all the 8 visits in time, and we could make it for this last minute home visit. Everything must be in cash. So and I asked sister, okay, then we didn't even look at the sum, because we thought we could not make it. But last minute, I asked Sister Epi, how much do you have in the pocket? And both of us, we open our pocket and we add up both our money together, just enough, 300 ringgit both, just enough for this care recipient. Nothing more, nothing less. Incredible. It was so beyond us, but we made it to her, passed it to her. It was a happy and for that drink. Your soothing blessing. So of course, each time we also bring along more some vegetables, because it is most needed by these families, refugees families. Sorry, due to time, I have to cut short the video. So next episode, episode 657, chapter 3, also taking up the teachings and nurture the wisdom. Master said, once we have formed aspiration, how do we sustain that resolve we first formed? Master said, by seizing every moment. In fact, I think we also realize every time Master shared, it's about seizing, particularly during this tour. Lately, Master mentioned about each second. To her, it's every second counts. The 86,400 seconds. So indeed, have to Master cherish deeply each moment. Practice all good teachings, guard against wrongdoings, and stop evil. Adopt Buddha's teachings and using precepts to safeguard ourselves. That day this is a last minute addition, because Master mentioned about one center was being robbed during while the disciples were attending Shinfaxiang. Actually, it happens, I think a lot of people are aware, at our center, Sri Dhammasara Center. So I compiled some pictures I wish to share with everyone. But of course, I was not there during the burglary, because I joined after that. When I wanted to join, and then I heard the center was closed because of this burglary. So they shifted from ground floor. Earlier on, it was they were attending Shinfaxiang at ground floor. Ground floor, we have this glass door, so people from outside, they will know that there are how many people are inside. So after the burglary, the Shinfaxiang was moved to first floor. So first floor, and then I remember every morning there will be 2 brothers, volunteers brothers. They will stay at the door there, downstairs, until all of us could safely reach upstairs before they join us for Shinfaxiang. It was very in a way festive then. So many people attending, and on a weekend, I remember we will have round for round. We will walk and do the chanting meditation. And then a lot of because a lot of our He Chi Zuzang, all the people taking up responsibility, whether in community or charity, all of them will be there. So if there is any, which I remember the MH370, the flooding, all, we could register ourselves on the spot, even though I was the new volunteers then, but very grateful could join the activity, mainly because I also joined Shinfaxiang with them. I'm very grateful. At the time, even my daughter, sometimes when she follow me, when she's sleeping, then I'll carry her to the center. Such is the what Masters teaches, the Xing Yuan Xing, the faith, vow and actions in this teaching, believing, like Sister Irene. Actually, when I attended Shinfaxiang, after realizing how wondrous and useful it is, medicine for all teaching. I'm not sure. I tried to ask people to convince people to join Xun Fa Xiang, but later found out that affinity is such that not everyone is ready. So that point of time already make this vow. Hopefully there's hoping there's a chance we could bring more people in. So very grateful in 2015. Master heard this and Master even sent Brother Joe to come and guide us. How with that back to I'm not sure is it Sifu or Brother Joe to share. Okay, Got it.
Yeah, maybe invite Brother Joe or Shifu to give us feedback, but Sister Tzu Chi is very good.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I believe Master De Huang is also online, so we would ask the Master De Huang to give us the feedback to Sister Shu Qing's sharing. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you. But I'm sorry that I came late and just I just start to get through the line, and I listened Sister Irene already give some briefing for the beginning. So, but so sorry that I cannot I couldn't concentrate on the sharing. But after that, while Sister Xiaojing is giving her sharing, and I also sorry in the middle I live and I looking for our two masters Jie. One is from Malaysia and Taiwan. Both of them were not in their room, so I will just take some time to look for them. And so sorry. But just now I listened to Sister Xiaojing when she just as a new joining the Tzu Chi activities, and she already start to listen to the Xun Fa Xiang activities and bring along with her girl together and to listen to the master's teaching. So this is, I think she doesn't have much changing for Sister Xiaojing the way, you know, even though I think already more than 4 or 5 years, I think at least, you know, after she been certified as a commissioner and before she joined the patient, the training, I think it's over for 5 or 6 years. I think maybe the photo which is shows us now. But I think that yeah, I can say that you guys are very diligent and very mindful to listen to Master's teaching, because from every day I can receive your send through the WhatsApp with all the Dharma messages from Master, which is I think that you all are the role model for me, because I have to learn from you guys. Yeah, and actually I have a language barrier for speaking English, and because, you know, even though until now I still have some a problem maybe on the listening, or maybe it's from giving some sharing, but I will try my best. And I especially for this recent days, I will try to to practice and to listen different variety of news in English speaking, no, pronunciation and everything. I try to learn, and so that in the future I will give more sharing, and so that you guys can listen more clearly and can more understanding what I'm trying to pass the message to you all. So due to the time, and I think maybe they maybe have some more people, volunteers who also want to share. So I can pass it over to see is it brother or sister also want to share within this week what they have listened from our master's morning Dharma talk. Yeah, I just pass it over to see which one we're going to share on the next. Thank you.
And Shifu is very humble. Shifu's English is good. Yeah. Okay. Now maybe invite Sister Stephanie to share. Over to you, Sister Stephanie.
Hey, good evening, Amitofo Sifu and Brother Joe and all brothers and Irene for inviting me to share. So due to the time constraint, I will try to be quick, yeah? So today's sharing actually for me is going to be a very personal journey. Can you all see my slide at the moment?
Yes,
Can you see my slide at the moment?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir. Okay, so, right. So I remembered on the episode 638,
Sorry,
and
Master,
accumulating. Yes,
there are some.
can you hear me?
Yes, there are some blocks covering your
Yeah.
wording. It's okay, yeah? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is not so good. So please excuse me. So I'd like to share this line from Master's sermon in episode 638, which Master was talking about the Pisaka demons, you know, and there are creatures hiding and accumulating. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And they are yeah. It's okay. I'll just continue, right? Scurrying and fleeing and just let me continue. It's okay, sister. Is that all right?
Yes, please.
These creatures, yeah, these creatures are like our afflictions. Yeah, they may be concealed, they may propagate. Right? Master didn't say propagate, but to me it's propagate. Because I feel that it is the afflictions, a small spark of afflictions can actually, as Master says, so yeah, so I feel like for myself, because as I told brother and sister, I felt that because my training ground inside the mind and it externally has changed because my health. So I find myself grappling with time. I find myself rushing. I find myself anxious, trying to finish up my activities, trying to get results rather than be. Therefore, these afflictions were slowly creeping up on me. I felt 2 months ago, actually, I felt I was very unhindered and have no obstacles. But when the training ground started to change, I started to feel anxious. I started to feel hindered, and I started to feel afflicted, not so joyful. So I remember Sister Sachi said, when there's no joy, something must be wrong with the practice. And I realized it is true. And when Master came to this, so happened, I was facing cockroach problem in my house. Finally, I found the source of the cockroach. Yeah, it was basically due to a leak inside my toilet, my master bedroom toilet. And when I fixed the leak, right, the cockroach disappeared. Yeah. So Master was talking about the Pisaka demon in the sutra. This is the Pisaka demon according to the Chinese Buddhist encyclopedia. Demons basically, as Master says, they actually can possess humans. They can become invisible. They're not seen. They can possess humans. As Master was talking about the two sets of 5 afflictions, the chronic and acute. If we are not aware of it, you know, the acute will trigger the chronic, and therefore the 10 agents will come. And these are the very subtle, maybe we have eliminated our desires, but what about the other 2 levels, the other 2 realms of form and formless? Those are still residing inside our mind. So for me, I'm very thankful that I'm on the path, because if we are not cultivating, as Master say, how do we even know that we have these 5 acute and 5 chronic afflictions inside us? So truly, we must be very careful about these subtle afflictions that they are hidden, they are concealed, but they are there. It's not obvious like the desire things that we have given up, but yet these are very cravings. We may crave for name, we may crave for fame, we may crave for blessings, merits, whatnot, in our cultivation. And I have to stop myself in my path, stop myself in free give questions. Therefore, I say this is a journey into my inner mind. So I want to relate to this slide from episode 520. This is one of my personal insights. When ignorance arises, and when it arises in our minds, the bodhisattva path seems to be covered by dense smoke and fog, and therefore we cannot see the path clearly. So for me, I felt that, yes, I did come to a place where I was not feeling the joy, the Dharma joy, in whatever I was doing, really. And I was dragging my feet, and I couldn't see, I was having doubts coming up in my mind because of this dense smoke and fog that was covering up. Because basically my body was very trying to do too much, for the sake of doing, and I think that is very unwise. And sorry, that is very unwise. That is very unwise because it multiplies for the sake of multiplying to overtake all the other healthy cells. So Master assured us that within this dense smoke and fog is a stable and solid path that we risk. So we can continue to walk. Because why? We are so blessed. We have done 3 kinds of karma to come to this path. We have created blessings from worldly deeds. We have created practicing the Dharma. Therefore, we have the good karma to walk the path. So we must have faith that we must continue to create these 3 kinds of good karma, whether it's from our body, actions, speech. For me, to transcend the 3 spheres of emptiness, to the path, as Master say, so that everyone on the path can walk in unison. This is the way, as we dedicate merits to the path, all of us walk together to return to the true suchness, because the opposite direction, we will get lost again. But I'm reminded, I'm very thankful that we have a team that comes together every morning, even though I've settled down with. And in one of our discussion on the 9th of September, post Xun Fa Xiang, Brother Chin said that every storm that comes our way is a purification of our path, and every thunder that strikes is an awakening moment of the true nature within. Therefore, Master has always said, within afflictions, we will find the brothers and sisters, because of our affinity on the path, on this path of one true Dharma. We are able to purify our past karmic causes, to listen to other people's sharing, to have the kind comfort and loving care from other brothers and sisters who help us to awake. And I'm very thankful for all brothers and sisters, especially Sister Xiu Ching, Brother Chin for always guiding us, and of course Sister Irene, and all the brothers and sisters as my fellow on the path. So I want to end with this. This is a little cupcake, it's a vegan cupcake, all the way from Japan. It is from our dear Sister Angeline, who's from time and space, She shared this vegan recipe with us during one cold winter morning, going to be Christmas. So sharing is actually learning and growing together. I'd like to say my deepest gratitude to all brothers and sisters, Brother Joe and all the Dharma masters in Hualien for always guiding us and benefiting us. And then over to you, Sister Irene.
Okay,感恩 Sister Stephanie for the heartfelt sharing. May we invite Shifu to give us any. Yeah, thank you, Shifu. 感恩.
Okay. Thank you for Sister Stephanie sharing. Because just now she mentioned that when the affection arise in the mind, it was just similar like the whole environment will cover by the smoke or fog, which is like to make you unclear with the direction of what we should go or where we should do, going to the right path. But I think actually we human being actually we are tended to have what mentioned about the fundamental of the 10 affliction, which is the chronic affliction or the acute 5 acute afflictions, which is the minor that we can't see or the certain thing. But I think maybe let us to think about that. If we the Buddha was saying that we live every day like it is our last. I think maybe we will try not to have much time to give rise any affliction, because due to we short of the lifespans in the future, so we will cherish everything that we encounter for. Just example like because we don't know tomorrow death becomes. So, and I think that if we believe that one masters or the Buddha mentioned before, if we believe that life is a circle of birth and rebirth, and if our goal should be to liberate ourselves from the circle of suffering. So the problem is we tend to think that we have all the time in the world. So if you encounter some difficulties, but you don't put effort into tomorrow to solve it, and you will think that now I will start you still have some excuse for yourself not to solve the problem. I think we will keep accumulate the things. So I think it's best for us to think that if this is the last day in your life, I think maybe all the afflictions will be very quickly to fade away. So I think everything will be just okay. So try to make it to think that this is the last day, so you'll cherish every moment when you encounter. I think maybe it can help us to reduce or to eliminate the affliction that trying to give a rise a single thought in our mind, and to force us to take action in the and making back during